This is just more of the mess we inherited from the Biden administration. In September 2022, Elizabeth Warren, who loves to write letters, sent a letter to the Justice Department, to the Transport Department, saying that they should oppose the merger with Spirit Airlines. JetBlue wanted to buy them for $3.8 billion. It would have given them much more resiliency. Pete Buttigieg was probably the worst transportation secretary in history when he came to the office. They were against the merger, and if JetBlue had merged with Spirit, we would have all these jobs that were lost yesterday. We had 30 regional airports who have lost service, and we shouldn't have been here in the first place.
That was Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent with Maria on Sunday following the collapse of Spirit Airlines. The ultra-low-cost carrier long acting as a price floor, forcing bigger airlines to keep tickets cheaper. Well, they're gone. Industry experts are now warning higher fares are coming for travelers. Fares already climbing this year as airlines are passing along higher fuel costs due to the Iranian conflict. I want to bring in Virtuoso Vice President of Global Public Relations, Misty Ballas. Misty, so how do you see this in general with the Spirit shutdown? How does this affect the broader market?
Well, it certainly affects the more price-sensitive traveler this summer. They've lost that carrier. Others will step in and will fill that void, but prices are likely going to go up. Spirit definitely fulfilled a niche there. The reason why we have those basic economy fares in the major airlines, Spirit is what helped drive that. So you may see some price increases there. However, it's not affecting right now the overall travel market. Travel is still going very, very strong, and luxury travel in particular is incredibly strong for first quarter of this year leading into summer as well.
Yeah, even with jet fuel prices up 50%. That's interesting. Liz.
Yeah, because it is a discretionary item, right? I mean, we keep hearing about how people are beginning to pull back on making certain decisions, but I guess it really is a two-tiered economy. That's what you're seeing, that lower-income Americans are facing those choices, and higher-income people, probably fueled by the stock market, really aren't feeling the pinch.
That's just it. Luxury travel is closely tied to the stock market. So as long as that's doing well, luxury travel will as well. And while it's a discretionary item, it is one that people prioritize even over luxury goods. They really don't want to give up their summer vacation.
Yeah, that's the I guess that's the stock market gain story, right, Mark?
Yeah, and look, I mean, the top 10% of income earners are responsible for 49% of consumer spending. So that's not going to change. Mm-hmm. They're spending a much lower percentage of their income on essentials and necessities, and a much higher percentage on discretionary items like travel. Not to mention the fact that these airlines overall, I mean, they're driving profits from premium seating, first-class seating, and also international travel, right? So the airlines are going to profit from this. You're going to see consumers continue to spend via the wealth effect, whether it's real estate or the stock market, and just the fact that they don't have to spend as much on loaves of bread and cartons of milk as, you know, and they like to enjoy their lives. They're looking for experiences.
You're exactly right. The front of the planes right now, full. Yep. Back of the plane, less so.
Yeah, well, and Virtuoso's recent Lux report did find that people are chasing more, I thought this was interesting, soul-based experiences, but they're going to spend on it. So there's demand, you're saying, in both Europe and the United States, and that's actually surging. And bookings are up, what, 34%, something like that?
Yeah, so bookings are up double digits, sales are up. For Europe, it's a different story. Part of what's driving the sales there are the fact that hotel rates and just fares in general are so much higher this year. So you're seeing hotel rates, at least in the Virtuoso space, high-end luxury, up 15% year over year, which is a pretty big increase. Now, for the U.S., that's a different story. It is demand that is driving all of that. And in the U.S., they're extending their stays 34%. So you're looking at people traveling more in the U.S., staying longer, but it's not rate driven. The rates are relatively flat at about 4%.
What kind of experiences are people looking for?
I mean, they're looking for something that detaches them from their normal day-to-day life. Okay. So in Europe, we are seeing all the hot spots are doing great. South of France right now up 53% year over year for this summer. Paris is up, Rome, Italy. So all the greatest hits are up year over year. In the U.S., it's really interesting because it's a lot of the wide open spaces. Colorado, Wyoming, Montana, all doing really well. Colorado's up like 83% year over year. So significant big bump there. But then you're also seeing cities like New York is up significantly as well. So, I mean, it's really kind of all across the board.
We'll see how New York treats all these international
Exactly.
travelers. Tomorrow is National Travel Advisors Appreciation Day. I think that you employ 20,000 agents. You're in 56 countries, which is incredible. $35 billion in travel sales per year. So you've got a real global view, but also a lot of jobs are.
Yeah, I mean, travel and tourism in general supports trillions of dollars worth of business. It's a significant part of GDP. So travel advisors play a very vital role in that. As you said, we have more than 20,000 that are associated with Virtuoso. But here's a couple of really interesting stats for you. Travel advisors book 25% of travel. They book still. They book 70% of cruises, and they book 800,000 airline tickets a day. So they are significant players. So
that's amazing to me, because this is obviously one of the fields that AI was supposed to completely decimate. I mean, it's pretty easy to go online and buy an airplane ticket. So I'm surprised, with all due respect, that people actually have an agent doing that for. Is that usually part of a bigger package?
It's part of a bigger package.
Okay.
And you can go online and do this yourself, but you can also do it with professional guidance to make sure you're making the right choices. So if you're going to pay more for something these days, don't you want someone telling you you're making the best possible choice?
But are you incorporating AI into your business?
AI is absolutely part of the business. It takes care of all of the rote tasks that come with anything that you do. But the person-to-person connection, the professional advice, I mean, do you want to trust ChatGPT to your vacation?
Actually, there was a Wall Street Journal reporter, it might have been the New York Times, that had the ChatGPT map out their entire vacation, and it was a bit of a disaster.
Right, exactly. So, again, hug your travel advisor tomorrow.
Yeah. That's
Maybe
interesting.
not let AI plan the whole trip. It might be a little misguided. Maybe Virtuoso is the way to go. Misty Ballas, thank you for being with us.
Thanks so much.
Great to see you. All right.